Hello, and welcome to Principles of Sociology Online. I'm Dr. Conley, and now you can put a face behind the name and the words that I type. I wanted to talk to you about the sociological perspective and give you some practical applications of how it really works in our lives. Question for you. Have you ever gone to a movie with someone? Afterwards, after the movie, you discuss the movie, and it's almost like you and the other person saw two different movies. That's because the lens through which they saw the movie is different than the lens through which you saw the movie, and that's because we all have individual experiences in life that really shape how we view the world, what we see, and what we do. And the sociological perspective, my working definition, that sociological perspective is the unique lens we use to view the world. What makes it unique? The fact that we are all unique. I asked you in your student introductions to tell us all something unique about you. And all of you had something unique that makes you, you. And our life experiences, the sum total of our life experiences also make us very unique and individual. Now, don't laugh. In my in-person classes, I have students do the drawing. It's not my gift or talent, but don't laugh. Think about an eyeball. Or that camera lens. I don't know what kind of camera that is, but don't laugh. Okay. But think about when we're looking through that lens, when we're looking to take that shot of a camera, okay, we're looking through that lens, and what we observe is going to be different. And that in itself is the sociological perspective. Now, when we're looking through that lens, the sociological perspective, it applies to society. Society is the people. Don't laugh, but at least more than one. People. Okay. Society is a group of people who share two things: a culture, which we will discuss in chapter 2, and a territory/social location. I will change those two words, territory and social location. And what a social location is, it's the group memberships that people have that really explain, help us understand why people do what they do based on the different positions that we occupy. Think of who you all are right now. Right now, you're college students. That is a social location. Around the world, college students have a similar way of behaving based specifically on being a part of that one select group. Okay? Other examples of social locations. Who are you? Wives, mothers, daughters, sons, children, employees, employers, artists, musicians, teachers. All of those are examples of social locations. And those group memberships can really help us, and we'll get into this in like chapter 5, I believe, really understand how just being a part of a certain group really gives some indicators of how we are to behave. Because the thing about the sociological perspective to remember is sociologists, when we're looking through that lens, exclusively we are looking through that lens to understand why people do what they do. Sociologists want to understand behavior based on people's group memberships and how being a part of those groups really does shape their behavior. Okay. Durkheim makes the distinction between psychology and sociology. Psychology deals with the individual and human behavior. Sociology deals with society, groups, and human behavior. Alrighty, want to give you that perspective. And the last thing I want you to know is that when we're looking through that lens at society, we also learn a lot about ourselves. That's one exciting thing about sociology. Well, there are many, in my opinion. Sociology really is a process of self-discovery. As we are looking out into the world, we're going to learn a lot about ourselves throughout the semester. And you already read chapter 1 and the origins of sociology. It began because of revolutions emerging and the changes in the way people lived. Before the Industrial Revolution, people lived in agricultural society. So something like, where do you get milk, has completely changed. They're two different worlds. And the early pioneers and sociologists, as you've read, tried to understand, what was holding people together in the midst of all these changes and understanding behavior. And that created sociology. But I want you for the next few days to kind of observe people's behavior and jot down those things that make you ask, why do people do this? Or how is it that happened? Okay, just kind of keep your eyes open and just anything as relates to human behavior as you're watching people. Why do people do X and why do people do Y? Okay, those are what really prompts sociology, sociological research to get those questions answered to understand why people behave in the manner in which they behave. Um, One thing I will do is create a conversations and sociology discussion board, and just to kind of throw out ideas you have or things you experience, or maybe even jot some of your why questions, and let's keep this conversation going. Alrighty, until next time, I will see you. This is Dr. Conley saying have a great one.